In enterprises and in real innovation, there are workflows. You have to follow that. You have to find the best in class use cases, for instance. You have to keep track of every single news about that topic. You have to have a clear understanding about the market dynamics. Then you have to collect every single information, and you have to make it tailored for that company. That cannot be done with ChatGPT with an instant. It's not really a possibility.
So you got immersed into this problem space, and you are also an engineer by training, right? And so you built something to help you tackle the space, something called Entrapeer. I think we've buried the lead enough. Tell us, what is Entrapeer?
Entrapeer right now is an AI agent platform. We try to fill the talent gap in large organizations, startups, and VCs. Uh, I mean, think about innovation teams. Innovation, like we all talk about it. Innovation is super important for enterprises right now. It's a reality. 8 years ago, it was a, how can I say, a private club. It was a nice to have thing, but right now
Yep.
it is the reality. But how are you gonna tackle with the innovation? There's no school for that. There's no training program. The increase in the information is massive. Even it went beyond the human capabilities. I mean, how you are going to tackle with that? Are you going to put 20 people in there? 40 people, 50 people?
Yep.
What is the limit of it? I mean, that's why there's a huge talent gap in innovation teams. They need to do market research. They need to do startup scouting. One day they need to have due diligences on companies. Uh, they their needs are evolving with the ecosystem, with their stages. That's why we thought that it's a really great opportunity to create AI agents by copying the best teams in the world. If you are going to do due diligence with AI agents, it has to be like a Silicon Valley grade due diligence. If you are going to do startup scouting, it has to make it like the best teams in the world. We are just copying, understanding, and copying the real human behavior, and we are creating AI agent teams for large enterprises, for startups, for VCs. That is our goal.
And what's the outcome for your partners, for your customers, right? I mean, obviously, maybe they don't have to hire 20, 30, 50 analysts, but what do they do with the platform?
First of all, their initial goal for every party, they are trying to create a new value by partnering with a startup, by investing in a company, or by signing a deal with a large enterprises. Uh, that is the goal. It has to be a new business. That requires market research. You have to understand the market. You have to convince your stakeholders. You have to do lots of analysis, curations. Those are huge operations. From outside, it looks like small googling things, but it is not. You can't really rely things on googling your googling capabilities. It's not really possible. But
Yep.
today, this is the reality. By the way, things are going on Google and some couple startup databases. That is the reality. We are capturing those workflows. They are coming to us and asking us that Eren, we need startup scouting for our next investment, and the system does that. It
So it
creates
goes
the best in
out,
class startup
you know,
scouting.
it goes out and says, all right, here's a list of candidate startups. Here's kind of an assessment of them and a filter. You should take a look at them. Do you have any additional questions? Something like that?
Yes, yes, and it keep update itself. It self heals itself with preferences, with the past data, with their choices and briefs. That is the beauty of it. It almost worked like a human.
It's an extension of your team. So
Yeah.
what, you mentioned something about market timing, right? Like 8 years ago, innovation may have been theater, may have been nice to have, but now it's kind of an existential driving force for so many companies. And I think our audience would largely agree with that. But what has changed on the technology side that enables you to do this? Are there new capabilities? Are you building on top of LLMs that enable you to do things that wouldn't have been possible 8 years ago?
I think the best and the first multiplier is AI. By far is AI. I mean, uh, enterprises try to leverage blockchain, IoT, and the other technologies. None of them were close to AI.
Yeah.
Even applied AI in 5 or 6 years ago, we had the boom in applied AI models, platforms, and everything. Uh, Even those technologies in early days, it was super helpful for large enterprises. Uh, right after that, we got the other hypes, but none of them were close. Today, LLMs are, oh my god! I mean, there are really lots of best use cases going on in enterprises. We even just scratched the surface. We solve the performance of LLMs with the public data. We don't know what they can do with the private data, because private data behind the doors of enterprises and also some startups, we don't know what they can do with that.
And
That is mind blowing.
are you integrating at Entrapeer the private data of your partners into your work, or is that something that's kind of on the roadmap?
Yes, it's in our roadmap. We got lots of inquiries about that because they have their own data and they want to include into market research, and they want to convince their C-suite with that data, and also they want to decide their strategy with the light of that knowledge. That's for sure in our roadmap. Probably before the end of the year, we will launch that.
So here's the I you and I know each other, so we were friendly, and it also means I can ask the pointed a-hole question here. Like, what's Entrapeer doing that I can't do with ChatGPT?
It's a very nice question. We got that a lot. With ChatGPT, you can ask a question. Of course, it can answer you with the known details. But um, in enterprises and in real innovation, there are workflows. You have to follow that. You have to find the best in class use cases, for instance. You have to
Mhm.
keep track of every single news about that topic. You have to have a clear understanding about the market dynamics. Then you have to collect every single information, and you have to make it tailored for that company. That cannot be done with ChatGPT with an instant. It's not really a possibility. We use some private data, we use some synthesized data. Our system, for instance, keep tracks of every single startup in the universe. We identify their problems and understand their solutions and its impact. When we collect that information, it creates a huge knowledge graph. We leverage that knowledge graph for those market research, for those startup scouting process, and none of the information is in ChatGPT. That's why it's not even a possibility for them.